The study started with an advertisement asking for male college students to be part of an experiment regarding prison life. It indicated that they would need participants over a period of 2 weeks, and those selected would be paid $15 a day. Over 70 people volunteered for the prison simulation that would be taking place in Jordan Hall in Standford's Maid Quad.
On a quiet Sunday morning in August, the Palo Alto police swept through the dorms and student housing areas of Standford University. The police were told to duplicate every detail of an actual arrest.
On August 17, 1971, the prisoners were arrested, commencing one of the most notable and notorious experiments in history.
First, the prisoners were stripped and forced to stand naked while they were deloused with a spray. Later, they were given a uniform which was simply a dress with a number on the front. Instead of shaving their heads, the prisoners were given tight stocking caps to cover their hair. They were put in their cells and told to sit in absolute silence. The process of humiliation had begun.
On day 2, there was a very sharp change in the whole nature of what was happening in that prison. The prisoners, attempting to assert their freedom, their individuality, rebelled, and we had an open rebellion.
Prisoners removed their stocking caps, ripped up their numbers, and barricaded themselves in their cells by blocking the door with their beds. Guards began to feel angered and flustered as the prisoners taunted them in their cells. The guards blamed the night shift for being too lenient and inattentive. What felt like a good idea to the inmates quickly went south as the guards forced them out of their cells with fire extinguishers. To add to this, guards humiliated prisoners by stripping them naked and harassing them after the incident. Guards messed with the well-being of prisoners, depriving them of sleep by blowing loud repeated whistles at 2 in the morning and limiting their food and meals when they acted up. Humiliation was often used by stripping them naked, forcing them to use plastic buckets as toilets, and making them do push-ups, which was compared to the dehumanizing punishments Nazis used in concentration camps.
Prisoner 819 is being punished, Mr. Correctional Officer. Prisoner 819 is being punished, Mr. Correctional Officer. Prisoner 819 is being punished, Mr. Correctional Officer. Prisoner 819 did a bad thing. Prisoner 819 did a bad thing.
I began to feel that I was losing my identity, that the person that I call Clay, the person who put me in this place, the person who volunteered to go into this prison, because it was a prison to me, it still is a prison to me. I don't look on it as an experiment or a simulation. It's just a prison that was run by psychologists instead of run by the state.
During the experiment, many prisoners broke down and demanded they leave due to the harsh environment and treatment they received from guards. As the experiment went on, guards were becoming more involved in their role and truly believed that they were guards and should persecute the prisoners because they were real criminals.
I had really thought that I was incapable of this kind of behavior. I was surprised, even I was dismayed to find out that I could really be that I could act in a manner so absolutely unaccustomed to anything I would even really dream of doing.
Although the experiment was originally intended to last 14 days, Zimbardo ended it after only 6.5 after a colleague finally spoke out, telling Zimbardo for what it really was. Almost 48 years later, the Standford prison experiment is still regarded as one of the most controversial experiments in history, with it even spawning a full-length feature film. In recent years, many psychologists have doubted the results and wondered whether the guards were coerced into acting in such a severe and cruel manner. Whether you believe the results or not, the Standford prison experiment is still an eerie look into societal roles and how people can turn cruel when given enough power and control.